Hey Leo, welcome in. I'm here to do your tarot reading today. My name is Abby. I'm the Oddest Oracle and I'm glad you stopped by. I hope you'll stay. I have a message for, it feels like a young Leo or somebody who is coming into their Leo energy in a new and different way. This feels kind of specific in the sense that maybe the details of this reading will feel very specific, but there's this collective. So it feels like if we had concentric circles, right? I'm probably talking to somebody who's in a newer expression of their Leo energy. But as I felt it come out like ripples, right? I could see bigger and different expressions of this same energy, which, to be honest, I think is true for many tarot readings, not just mine, but many tarot readings. There's like a mundane expression where you can see it play out with like literally money, but then there is the as above so below type of, I don't know why I'm explaining this to you. I feel like it's important, but okay. So in my meditation for you guys, the first things that came through are, what is the difference between being seen and being witnessed? And that felt like really heavy, not necessarily in a bad way, but in a way where it's not heavy, but dense. Like there's a lot there to talk about. I just got the Page of Swords out. So, but I'm still shuffling. So I wrote a spread, actually. Sometimes I use spreads written by other creators. I always credit them. And sometimes I use no spread, but today I wrote a spread. So this is kind of fun and exciting. We're gonna investigate how you're being seen, so your spotlight, how you're being this is where it gets tricky. So the way that it came through was there's an itch that isn't being scratched. So the way that this was playing out was like Leo being Leo is on a stage, which is okay. All right, that's a little stereotypical, but hear me out. It's an archetype, right? Leo's on a stage. Leo does the performance. Leo gets the applause, but somebody's not seeing, not witnessing you within that performance, if that makes a kind of sense. It's almost like the difference between a standing ovation and a standing ovation plus roses and good reviews, if we're in the theater realm, right? And I don't think that this is ego. I genuinely think that this is you, Leo, or whoever this message is for, is relying on a skill set that they have built out of purpose. Like there's a reason it's there, and it's not bad, and it's serving you to an extent, but a new part of your personality wants to come online and be witnessed in totality and integration with your sense of self. And I think that's where we're getting caught up. So we're going to see how you're being seen, what the itch that isn't being scratched, the mismatch. So where is the miscommunication coming, or where can you untangle what's happening? Then we're going to see if this is a conscious protective strategy or if this is something that's happening kind of without your intention, and then what the point is, what you want to have seen. Okay, so I know it's not exactly the clearest thing. I'm having a start and stop talking situation today, which is frustrating because I have Leo in my third house. So like, frankly, I'm here for the theatrics, friends. All right, before we get started, let's lay out some ground rules. You take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If something isn't for you, there is zero reason to get activated by a tarot reader on YouTube. There are plenty of people who would do your story justice, Leo. This is also for Leo energy. So you do not have to be a Leo sun sign. That feels very important. This is for wherever Leo falls in your chart. As I just said, I have Leo in the third house. So when I listen back to this reading, as I do with all of my readings, I will consider it from the perspective of my third house, my communication house, and what that means for me. But for now, I'm not Leo. I'm just the channel. So let's get into it. All right, we're going to lay the cards out. I have 3 decks we're going to use today. And I also have 3 pillars here, but only 2 candles on each. And I brought my little cicada guy out because this is feeling transformative. This feels like transformation. So Scorpio energy or fixed energy in general may be important for you. Page of Wands in reverse came out as I was shuffling. That may be a sign for somebody. And we will do, okay, Spirit, High Priestess. I know, Leo, you are so psychic. And there may be a Pisces situation here. We will get charms out afterward. but I feel called to just get right into the reading. And then we have the Ace of Wands here. There's a lot of wand energy. Hi, Leo. You are a fixed fire sign. Welcome. All right. So this is your spotlight, the itch that isn't being scratched, the mismatch. What is the hinge point? What is happening? I think this pile is going to be like super important for us. I'm going to move that up because I feel like there will be a lot. I actually have my table very cleared off today. I usually have like gemstones that call to me, or props or items that really set the scene for the energy I'm in. Today it was very simple. It was a lot of rule of threes. We'll keep going. What is your protective strategy? What is the witness point on this? And over here, we're going to put your advice. Okay, it's the first deck out. We're going to get the rest of these cards out. How do you feel about being seen versus being witnessed, Leo? What does that mean to you? What does it mean to be viewed as prop versus seen in your fullness? I'm hearing the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. That feels very important, right? You're not just one thing, but sometimes people can only see one thing. And this is really definitely relating to the Pisces reading I did. There is a similar vibe, although a very different situation from what I could tell. And that feels important. So again, maybe check where Pisces is in your chart, or consider investigating your Pisces energy and how that relates to your Leo energy. I had a card fall out. Respect tastes better than attention, Leo. We are right on track today. All right. 3, 4, 5, advice. All right. And then I do have a timing deck if we need to get into it, but this doesn't feel bound by time. This feels like you get to do this in the time that's appropriate for you. Also, pause the video, grab something to drink. Somebody needs to drink, and that's what I'm going to do right now really quick. Hold on. Ooh, I just got to warn somebody doesn't need to drink. Okay, that's not my business. All right. Your spotlight is the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, the Queen of Wands, and the card that says, if you have to burn your whole world down to heal, strike every match, which is a quote from somebody, and I wish I had credited that appropriately on the card. The message still applies. So how you're being seen right now is a intuitive, communal person, somebody with a lot of, I don't know, magic, but like magic with a K, right? Like M-A-G-I-C-K, like there's magic here. But I don't know if this is how you feel you're being seen, or if you are being seen as somebody who doesn't put in the work. Now, I don't think that's fair, but people can have their own perspectives, and what people think of us is really none of our business, except in this reading, because we're discussing the difference between how we're being seen and how we can be witnessed. So this feels like a knock to the chin. I don't usually consider Leo energy to not be hardworking or lazy or anything like that. Let's see. Is this how Leo feels, Spirit? Is this how they feel they're being seen, or how they're actually being seen? I think this is going to be the dichotomy we bounce back and forth between for the entirety of this reading. I have 8:31 on my clock in case that matters to somebody. Can I get a card? Is this Eight of Pentacles in reverse how Leo feels, or how they're actually being seen? That's how you feel you're being seen. Okay, well, that matters because your feelings do matter. But we also have to remember that feelings are data and are not the only thing, right? Like, feelings inform our logic. Neither is more important, but they do work together. And I'm getting that Pisces Leo energy. Neither is more important, but they both work well together. Okay. So you feel as though you're not being seen as a hard worker. Then maybe you're even being seen as maybe promiscuous in a sense, but definitely as somebody who values their intuition over building the structure. So Spirit, let's clarify this. I'm hearing no. Okay, we're not going to clarify this. Let's move on. The itch that isn't being scratched. So this is like the dichotomy between, this is what you need. This is the feeling that you're looking for. A star, that's in reverse. That's interesting. Are you sick and tired of healing? 4 of Wands in reverse. And when you heal yourself, you heal me too. Okay. So what you're looking for, I find it so interesting that those are in reverse. Spirit, can you tell me why those two cards are? Let's clarify the star in reverse for me, Spirit, please. You want to be seen not as a healer or not as healed. Ooh, is this a villain arc? You want to be seen not as healed and not as celebratory or stable even. But then when you heal yourself, you heal me too. So can we clarify this, Spirit? Let's get some information on this. Thank you. 7 of Wands. Oh. Well, you don't want to be seen as defensive, or your defenses are coming down. All right, let's move forward and see what else is happening. This is the hinge point. This is the mismatch. This is the part that is incongruous. Interesting. The Hanged Man in reverse, Death in reverse, and Scream into the Void. Oof, Leo. Well, you're kind of stuck, aren't you? Let's see what your protective strategy is. The 6 of Wands in reverse. Wow, this is a lot of reverse. Leo, you're all twisted up. Don't worry, we're going to work to untwist it. But this feels like a lot of perception versus maybe even reality. This feels like I feel insecure. I feel unseen. I feel like people are not seeing me in my totality. And again, I want to say that feeling is valid. It comes from somewhere. You are the expert of your experience and you should investigate that. But I don't necessarily believe that that's reality in the sense of like, I mean, what is reality? But in the sense of like, well, like, have you asked people what they see in you? Have you asked? And if they told you, would you believe them? And look, there's Pisces energy again and Scorpio energy. Okay. 4 of Wands in reverse. Protective strategy is the 4 of Wands in reverse. You're doing that on purpose. Yeah. Okay. 8 of Cups in reverse. This is a bit of staying put. And then this card says, just because you dam a river doesn't mean the water is gone. Leo. It's like, no, I'm not going to have Piscean energy. I'm not going to mesh boundaries. I'm Leo. I'm fire. I'm strength. I'm a lion. But like something in you is calling to that, or is that part of you is calling to you in some capacity? Let's see. And this is what people would see. Yeah. This is what people would see. Oh, Leo, this is huge. Okay, so the witness point, this is kind of not necessarily what you want people to see, but almost like the truth of the matter, like a bird's eye witness of who you are. We have the 9 of Wands. This is tired. And I'm seeing the 3 birds here as like an homage to 3 of Wands. And we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. And this is the part that got me, Leo. The most powerful and empowering things are usually manipulated to make us afraid. Leo, why are you afraid of your power? What gave you this shame? I can't know. But I think it's important that you ask yourself that question, like really, like journal. What's the advice, Spirit? Let's see what the advice is. Page of Wands in the upright. Hey, that's right. Find that creativity. 7 of Swords. Keep that privacy. That privacy is important. It's also especially important because I feel such a Pisces connection. Like it is so important for Pisces to feel private to some degree. I mean, they're kind of mysterious and ethereal and all that kind of spiritual jazz, but also because Pisces struggles to build boundaries and because they are like vapor, Pisces dissolves boundaries. And so Whoa, I just lost that. This is important. I refuse to be limited by binary processes. Exactly. Okay, Leo, this is what I'm saying. You're not just one thing. I keep wanting to say you are anything and everything. And like, that's important. There's an element here of wanting to be seen for your mysticism or your magic, and also not wanting to be seen for your mysticism or your magic. And that's tough, right? Like, if we consider, because Pisces and Scorpio are here, they are, excuse me. It's like wanting to be seen as the high priestess, but constantly being seen as the strength card. Both, there's nothing wrong with either one, but the strength card has a certain like energy signature to it. It says, it could say like aggression. It could say, building. It could say, courage. It could say longevity and stamina. And those things are valuable. There's nothing wrong with that. That is a part of who you are, especially if you're like a Leo sun sign or a Leo rising. I mean, really, especially ever. But you're wanting to be seen for your spirit and for your sight and your vision. And that's hard when everybody's kind of constantly like, this feels so child actress coded. Like, I want to be seen for my depth and for my ability to be intuitive, and instead I'm being seen for like an outer exterior, or I'm blinding because I'm the sun, right? Leo's the sun. That can be blinding, whereas Pisces, the high priestess, this is a darker, quieter energy. You guys hear that truck? Confirmation. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and lay out another card for each one. I just want to get a little bit more of the story. Tell me more about how Leo feels about this spotlight. How do you feel about being seen this way as the Eight of Pentacles in reverse and the Queen of Wands? Like, maybe I'm projecting. I would be frustrated if I was being seen as singular or singularly dimensional when I am multifaceted. That could be projection, but I want to ask anyway. How does Leo feel about this? Oh, Spirit, that's a lot. I'm hearing take them all. Okay, guys, let's, okay. All right, King of Pentacles, King of Wands in reverse, the Magician in reverse, Ace of Swords. Yeah, you feel like it's a lie, and like you can make money off of it, but it's not feeding your spirit. Interesting. That was such a clear message, Leo. Like, I feel like relaxing into this right now. Hold on while I get comfortable. Sorry, like more comfortable. Okay, so you don't like it. I don't think you like it. I mean, it's great to be seen as the King of Pentacles and all, but when you're seen as, so like not Eight of Pentacles, but King of Pentacles, is it like, I'll take that if I can't get the respect from the other viewpoint? The itch that isn't being scratched. Tell me more about this. The Star, the Four of Wands in reverse, and clarify the Seven of Wands. That's what I want to know. The itch that isn't being scratched. The part of you that isn't being seen. Oh, that you feel unstable, that you don't feel healed, that you can't affect change. That music just got really loud. Did it get loud for you, Leo? I don't know how much you can hear that. The Seven of Wands. To be seen for your defensiveness, exhaustion, for your need, right? To not be seen for what you can offer, but for what you need to receive. Interesting. Devil in reverse. And the Tower. Well, I don't think that's going to stay that way much longer. When I see the Tower come out, it, as most people who are into tarot know, it portends an event outside of your control that is necessary to bust this foundation up, which I think is important with that King of Pentacles there, but the Eight of Pentacles in reverse behind it. I think that Tower, you may actually kind of welcome that. Can you tell me more about this Tower, Spirit? Can I get another card for this Tower? For Leo. Thank you. Oh, I got 3. Okay. Spirit, you are talkative today. Leo, you're talkative today, and I'm happy about it. Justice. Yeah, that will bring a rebalancing. It'll make a sense, but it's also going to open, man, you have so many major arcanas. It's also going to open a new contract for you, and I think that's really important. Four of Cups in reverse. You will not be missing out on that. Okay, that's the itch. The itch will get scratched, Leo. I think this reading is to give you like a bit of a heads up, or to give you a pathway into allowing yourself to recognize that this feeling of discontentment lives inside of you, and to know that it is okay. There's something about, like, you know who you are. You don't know if you're allowed to be who you are outside of what other people are kind of projecting onto you. Excuse me, Leo. All right, let's clarify this Hanged Man in reverse, Death in reverse, and Scream into the void. Yeah, I bet it does feel. It feels like you're talking to nothing because there's no mirroring back to you. There's no appropriate mirroring that makes you feel seen. So you might as well be in the black. Oh gosh, okay. 8 of Wands. That fell on the floor. Well, I think this message might be unlocking some things for you. It may also be a feeling of like, get up and move around, right? Like, or, oh, there's something, bear with me, Leo. It's something like, when we go back to the stage metaphor, right? Like being seen for the part you play, but not for the work that goes into the part that you play. Something's going to shift that. Clarify this 8 of Wands, Spirit. Can you tell me? Thank you. The Emperor in reverse. Well, it's not going to be this like stoic authority energy. That's not going to be the thing that changes this. 4 of Swords. And it's not rest at this point. And it's not strength. We're not adding more kindling to this fire. Ooh, that's a metaphor for you. 3 of Swords. It's not adding more people. It's a decision. Look at how this 2 of Swords, he doesn't have eyes. It's like this going within, like you're supposed to go within and only listen to yourself to make this decision. And I think that's important, Leo. I think there's a lot of messages maybe bombarding you right now at this time in your life or at a previous time in your life. And it's like you're getting lost in the cacophony, which is like, I'm loving that word right now. I think I've used it like 6 times in the last few days. But it's very appropriate in this setting because it's like, it's not that every voice isn't important, and it's not that you don't even want to pick up on certain voices at certain times. There's something about needing to refine your ability to filter the absorption of the messages or the noise that's going on. Okay, so your protective strategy is this 4 of Wands in reverse. I think this is really interesting because this is not sitting at home, which is, I mean, it's kind of Leo, but it's also not sitting still. And also I like this, just because you dam the river doesn't mean the water is gone. Right on top of the 8 of Cups, right? We're having this water fire interplay here in this reading. I don't know if you can tell, but it feels very obvious to me. Clarify this 4 of Wands in reverse, 8 of Cups in reverse, and yeah, clarify those 2 first, Spirit, please. 8 of Wands in reverse and the 8 of Cups in reverse. Thank you. The Empress in reverse. Tell me about the river. Just because you dam the river doesn't mean the water's gone. Tell me about the river, please. Thank you. Knight of Wands. Okay, so the Empress is like Taurus energy, Earth energy, Venus energy. I don't think this is a situation that's like kind of like love and light toxicity, like you need to love yourself, you need to just be sitting in your divine. I don't think it's that. And I'm not picking on people who do believe that or who do say that. I'm saying that in this reading, that would feel cheap. It would feel shallow for what's happening. This is more of an identity reintegration I'm hearing. So maybe something you've done before or something you used to know that you feel like you don't know anymore. But it's there. Like once it's in there, you can't unknow something, okay? This is like, no, instead you need to be your passions. Almost, because it's like you're seen as fire, you feel like water. Your calling isn't to be earth. Your calling is to be fire. Well, then clarify this, Spirit, please. The Ace of Wands. You need some kind of start here, some kind of like creative thread or passionate beginning. I mean, that feels a little reductive, but something here it's like using your Leo to get to your Pisces. If we're doing this fire water play here, fire water play, using your Leo to get to your Pisces. Interesting. Okay. And then let's clarify the witness point. What is the way that you'd be seen? What is the way that like spirit sees you, or a higher perspective sees you? We've got the Nine of Wands, more wand energy, the Knight of Swords. So get out of your head and slow down, or you are slowing down. We're going to clarify, don't worry. But I think this is going to be the most important thing, because it feels like you're afraid of that part of you. You're afraid of that like tenderness, the gooiness, if you will, of maybe the Pisces energy or the Pisces archetype or a Pisces person. Like really take it how it fits for you, because this feels super deep, like old, like something that's lived inside of you for a long time. So I'm not here to tell you who you are or what you're about. I'm just telling you what I see and hear and feel. Okay. So let's clarify this fifth position over here, this witness point over here. I'm hearing insecurity is not your identity, Leo. Oof. Can we clear? Thank you. Four of Pentacles and Six of Cups. All right. Well, you're not real sentimental. You're not feeling super sentimental about it, which is fine. There's this underlying kind of constant energy that I felt throughout this entire reading of like, you're mad at yourself for wanting to have feelings, or for wanting to be seen for your feelings. Like, I get it. I just also feel like there is so much energy tied up in being angry with oneself that could be rerouted to either solving the problem or giving yourself grace while you feel the feelings, right? Like the anger at yourself is almost like, it feels like, I don't know, I'm not an expert on this, so take this, really just take this only if it's for you, but it's like it feels like self-domination in a strange way, which, listen, let's be real, Leo has the propensity for that. I mean, kind of every sign does in their own way, but Leo specifically, being ruled by the sun and this like harsh, this can be like a complex version of Leo energy to me, of this like domination. What I find interesting is it's like turned in on yourself. I mean, I don't want it to be turned out on other people, or to be exploitative or abusive or anything like that. It's just like, but also that counts for you too. Like if I wouldn't want Leo to hurt other people, I don't want Leo to hurt themselves either. It's not about what I want. I'm just kind of expounding. Okay. Can I get one more card for this fifth position, Leo? Thank you very much. Leo. Oh, Leo, I was calling to you. Thank you. Page of Cups in reverse. Well, Leo, if you want to be seen for this, it's not coming through that way. It's not, and that's not like, I'm hearing, I know, why can't I do that? Okay. All right, let's slow down. It doesn't feel like you need to be like called out. It feels like we need to figure out a way for you to begin to feel comfortable in that, which frankly, I'm not a therapist, but maybe we can get some cards that help move you in that direction, or give you a starting point, like a thread to pick up on. So that's what the advice column is for. So in the advice column over here, we have Page of Wands, Seven of Swords, and I refuse to be limited by binary processes. 100%. Again, I will say to you, you are not just intuitive, or just a showman, or just a show person, or just anything. You are not any one thing. And so you're allowed to like spend time in these different parts of your energy. Like this is part of the reason why I find the birth chart to be really like magnetic in that sense, is because we do have all parts in there, and we are capable of tapping into those things if we can figure out how to unlock the portal, right? Okay, so advice. Page of Wands. This is, look at how he's walking through the gate, this little guy here. He's got his wand. He's beginning in a sense. But if you see, the trail comes back here. So he started somewhere. This isn't Ace of Wands. This is Page of Wands. This is a slightly more mature energy. And also there's a sense of like childlike excitement about this creativity, or about this magic. There's an excitement about it being new, about it being novel. And that's good. Like, that may be the thing that leads you into it, is your ability to tap into those fifth house themes, because Leo rules the fifth house, right? Like, whether you have Leo there or not, like, tap into those fifth house things. What makes you excited? What gets you ready to go? What gets you intuitive? Use your Leo. Okay, hold on. There's something here about fire, water, steam. There's something here about like fire moving over water. Like, that's a thing that can happen. I don't know. You might want to look into that, Leo. There's something like cleansing, steam. I'm going to leave that because, yeah. But also, it's like, which may be hard. If you are constantly in the spotlight, people are kind of always looking at you. It can be hard to be quiet or be unseen. It is much easier in the moon space, which again, I'm getting this like Pisces vibe here. There's something about that here. I refuse to be limited by binary processes. We've gone over that. I'm not going to belabor that point too much. But can we clarify this advice for Leo, please? Oh, thank you, Spirit. The Chariot. Do it. Do it. This is now Cancer energy. So we have Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio energy out on this table at 31:03 on my clock. And do it. Does Leo know? Does Leo, can they see? Just move forward, definitely. With that Page of Wands and the Chariot, move. We gotta get some movement, because the stagnation is not gonna help you. Which also brings me to this Empress card, right? We love Taurus. I love Taurus. I love Empress energy. But look at how she's very stationary. And this is not what you're being called to do in this specific circumstance. This isn't to kind of sit in this energy, literally, right? And I think we said that earlier when we were going through this pile, okay? Anything else? Can I get a Chariot or a qualification? Ooh, do you need to go back to school? Do you need to learn a new thing? Oh, that's it. Spirit, clarify this for me, please. Learn a new thing, learn a new trade, learn a new skill, or that Eight of Wands, there may be a piece of information that you're missing that can help kind of complete this. Six of Pentacles in reverse. Six of Swords in reverse. That's interesting. Knight of Pentacles. I really like this Knight of Pentacles. I think I talk to you guys about the Knight of Pentacles all the time, like as I do this channel. I love the Knight of Pentacles. It's a slow build. The payoff is so good. Six of Pentacles, Six of Swords in reverse. So this is not a time for retreating. This is not a time for like balanced meditation. There is like, let that drive you. There's a drive that needs to happen. All right, I'm going to reach over here. I do want to get a timing deck on this tower over here. I did feel like that felt like something that maybe a hinge point, another place where things could turn. Can you give me a timing card on this tower, Spirit, for Leo? Momentarily, okay? Seconds. Monday. I don't know, Leo. All right. I do want to grab one more thing, and then we'll get charms out. Let me just get some other messages for Leo, please, Spirit. I'm going to shuffle these. Right, nice. Oh, yeah, you hear that? That's nice. All right. Spirit, can I get any other message, any closing messages for Leo? Closing messages for Leo, Spirit. One more. Thank you. Oh, all right. Okay. Leo, you've been throwing cards out of my hands. I kind of love it because you're very decisive. That feels good. To be above or below. Excuse me, to not be above or below, but within and withstanding. That's a Knight of Pentacles energy if I ever heard one. It's not about a hierarchy, and it's not about somebody being better or worse or greater or lesser. Confirmation. It is about being within and stable within that. This might just be a side message for somebody. Like, we're talking a lot about fire, water, the interplay between the two, and how you can use those to mobilize. But there are elements of earth energy in here, and that may be where you find the grounding you need, like where you can bring fire and water together to meet on the earth, in an earth out wherever you have earth elements within your chart or wherever you like in the material world, which also makes a kind of sense with all this pentacle activity over here. Birds in a V formation at sunset. So this is, for me, this is my message card. Message. Oh, that's old. Oh, if you're old enough to remember that, please comment. Message. Look, grounded to your room, which is, yes, grounding is needed. And give less, which I think we got a little bit of that energy off of the Six of Pentacles in reverse over there. This is a time for you to be doing this inner work, this integration work. This is not a time for, and that makes, look, this is coming out now with this Queen of Wands. This is also like a community leader, somebody that people come to for answers and advice and things like that. And that is how you're being seen. And that's not what you want. And it's also not what is being called for you right now. Interesting. I know I mentioned at the beginning of this that I have my third house in Leo. And believe it or not, this is hitting for a very specific area of my life, right? The third house themes are like communications, media, but also things like siblings and local community and short distance travel and education and things like that. And for me, there's definitely a message here, not even a reroute, just an integration, just something that can be brought together and grounded to the earth and then produce tangibility, which I think is something that you're seeking, not necessarily even in a monetary sense, although obviously money is tangible. It is pentacles, like obviously that's there, but there's also this like assurance. Be mindful with assurance seeking, Leo. All right, let's get some charms out and then we're going to wrap this message up. I appreciate you guys being here today. I really enjoyed this energy. It was like, I think it's beautiful, Leo. I think it's kind of exciting. All right, here we go. We have a moon and a star. Oh, why did I sing that? Theater. Hope. Yeah, Leo. Hope. We got, is that a horse? I wanted to say Pegasus. I don't think that's a Pegasus. We have a heart. We have a butterfly, more transformation. Family. Blessed. Oh, looky here. I always think of that as like past Taurus energy. I don't, because it's a skull of a bull. I mean, that's kind of, but it's, I don't know, it's coming through right now. Music. Maybe music is a like a filter for you, Leo. Maybe music is a thing that helps you sort out what's going on. Like maybe perhaps pay attention to lyrics. That's something that works for me. Is why I'm recommending it. But you need to do what calls to you. Turtle. So this is like wisdom, slow growth, long live this energy, but also protected with that big shell and gooey inside. There's a little bit of Cancer there. Safety pin. It's a little bit of a repair. We have a rabbit with what appears to be a radish, the radish rabbit. Finally, we have an elephant, another long, I feel like this is a long cycle. We said that earlier. We're talking about how this feels old and like it lives inside of you, but it's also something that you already know deep in there, but it's important. All right, Leo, thank you for being here. I'll see you next time, and I appreciate you as always.